Teshub, the storm god of the Hurrians, peace in the rugged highlands of ancient Anatolia and the arid expanses of Syria. The figure of Teshub reigned supreme as the god of sky, thunder and storms. His myths and worship illustrate the cultural and religious landscapes of the Hurrians and their successors, the Hittites, weaving a story of power, divine struggle, and the supremacy of nature embodied in a deity. Origin and assimilation. Teshub was originally a Hurrian deity whose influence stretched across the regions now known as Turkey and Syria. As the Hurrians settled these areas, they brought with them their pantheon, with Teshub at its pinnacle. The Hittites, who later came to dominate Anatolia, assimilated Teshub into their own religious system. He was equated with their storm god Tahun, highlighting the commonalities between their mythologies, principally the control over weather and the embodiment of divine justice and power. Mythological feats. Teshub's mythology is rich with tales of conflict and victory, the most notable being his battles with Kumarbi and the dragon Illuyanka. Battle with Kumarbi, another powerful god from the Hurrian pantheon, is often depicted as Teshub's adversary. In a tale reminiscent of the Greek titanomachy, Teshub overcomes Kumarbi, who represents the old order of gods, thereby establishing a new regime under Teshub's stormy aegis. Conflict with Illuyanka. Perhaps the most famous of Teshub's myths is his confrontation with Illuyanka, a serpentine dragon. This story symbolizes the cosmic battle between order and chaos. Teshub's victory not only emphasizes his role as a harbinger of balance and prosperity, but also serves as a ritualistic reaffirmation of the community's resilience against calamities, celebrated annually in the Puruli Spring Festival. Worship and legacy. Teshub was worshipped through various rituals, which likely involved offerings, hymns and prayers to invoke his blessings for rain and to ward off natural disasters. His temples, adorned with lavish frescoes depicting his mythological exploits, served as centers of religious life in Hittite cities. The depiction of Teshub, often shown wielding a triple thunderbolt, underscores his might and his pivotal role in the pantheon. Cultural impact. The worship of Teshub also illustrates the syncretic nature of ancient Near Eastern religions, where deities were often merged or assimilated with those of conquered peoples, thereby integrating societies and their gods. Teshub's incorporation into the Hittite pantheon didn't diminish his importance, rather it enhanced his stature and facilitated the spread of his cult beyond the Hurrian heartlands, encouraging self-knowledge through the past. The tale of Teshub, with its rich symbolism and depiction of eternal themes such as struggle, victory, and harmony with nature, offers more than just historical insight. It encourages us to reflect on our own societal struggles and the perpetual human quest for balance and justice. Understanding Teshub's place in ancient mythology helps bridge the past with the present, offering timeless lessons on resilience and the human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity. In delving into the stories of gods like Teshub, we not only unearth the beliefs of our ancestors, but also glean understanding and inspiration for today's world. Such knowledge passed down through generations proves that while empires fall and deities fade into myth, the values they embody and the lessons they teach remain enduringly relevant. This narrative encapsulates the myth, worship and significance of Teshub, providing a storybook-like exploration of this ancient deity's role in the life of past civilizations and the timeless lessons derived from it. The festivals and rituals. Central to Teshub's worship were the festivals, particularly the Puruli Spring Festival, which celebrated the renewal of nature, and Teshub's victory over Illuyanka. This festival not only symbolized the triumph of order over chaos, but also acted as a communal plea for fertility and bountiful harvests. Devotees would gather in great numbers, engaging in processions, ritual dances and sacrifices to honor their deity and to ensure his favor for the year ahead. These celebrations were not just religious observances, but also social gatherings that reinforced community bonds and cultural identity among the Hurrians and the Hittites. The collective memory of Teshub's victories and his benevolent might ensured his continued reverence, even as political empires waxed and waned around his temples. Iconography and symbolism. Teshub's imagery often depicted him as a vigorous god bearing a triple thunderbolt, riding a chariot pulled by bulls, symbols of strength and virility. This iconography reinforced his role as a weather god who controlled the rain and storms, essential for agriculture in the rain-dependent cultures of the Near East. His symbols were not merely decorative, but served as potent ideological tools that conveyed his supremacy and protective prowess. These symbols permeated various aspects of daily life, from royal seals to the adornments on common pottery, illustrating the omnipresence of Teshub in both the mundane and the divine. Theological influence. The theology around Teshub also impacted the legal and political realms. Kings often invoked Teshub in treaties and laws, appealing to his authority as a divine enforcer of oaths and justice. This practice not only sanctified the secular power, but also highlighted symbiosis between the divine and the earthly realms, with Teshub as a central figure ensuring cosmic and societal order. Legacy and decline. As the political landscapes of ancient Anatolia and Syria changed with the influx of new powers, such as the Assyrians and later the Greeks and Romans, Teshub's worship adapted and transformed. His characteristics and roles were grafted onto similar deities such as Zeus and Jupiter, indicating a form of religious and cultural continuity that transcended the original ethnic and geographic boundaries of his worship. Despite the eventual decline in his direct worship, Teshub's influence can still be seen in the mythologies and religions that succeeded him, his legacy enduring in the fundamental human desire to understand and control the natural world. Reflecting on Teshub today, Teshub's stories are more than just archaeological curiosities. They are narratives that have shaped human understanding of the divine's role in nature and society. They teach us about the ancients' attempts to cope with and conceptualize the forces of nature, and their striving to instill a sense of order and justice in the world. In exploring Teshub's ancient tales, we connect with those who, though separated from us by thousands of years and thousands of miles, faced many of the same fears and hopes and sought to overcome them through faith and storytelling. This connection to the past enriches our own understanding of human nature and our place within the world, encouraging us not only to learn but also to apply these age-old insights to modern challenges. This continuation not only further explores the religious practices centered around Teshub, but also delves into the symbolic, legal and political dimensions of his worship, concluding with reflections on the relevance of these ancient myths today. Through the story of Teshub, we gain not just knowledge of a forgotten past, but also the wisdom to forge our future with greater awareness and insight. Integration with other cultures. As the Hittites assimilated Teshub into their pantheon, they also integrated him with other regional deities, reflecting the syncretic nature of ancient Near Eastern religions. This fusion of gods across different cultures not only facilitated diplomatic relations, but also enriched the religious tapestry, creating a more unified regional identity under the auspices of shared divine figures. Artistic depictions. Art and architecture from the period frequently feature Teshub, underlining his importance. Relief sculptures in temple walls depict his epic battles, while votive statues placed in sanctuaries signify his role as a protector. These artistic representations served as both worship aids and as political propaganda, celebrating the king's divine right to rule under Teshub's guidance. The iconography extended beyond temples and palaces, influencing jewelry designs, cylinder seals, and even the layout of cities. Teshub's image as a storm god wielding lightning bolts became a common motif symbolizing divine authority and protection. Philosophical and moral implications. The myth of Teshub versus Illuyanka touches on themes of redemption, sacrifice, and renewal, concepts that resonated deeply with the Hurrian and Hittite peoples. This story, often recited during the Puruli festival, was not only a tale of victory but also a moral lesson on the necessity of personal and communal sacrifice for the greater good. These myths imparted lessons of resilience in the face of adversity, the virtue of steadfastness and the importance of societal harmony, values that strengthened community bonds and ensured social stability. Cultural legacy. Teshub's influence extended beyond the realm of the religious. His stories and symbols became embedded in the cultural consciousness, shaping laws, social norms, and even economic practices. The god's expectation of justice and fairness in dealings is reflected in Hittite laws that were among the most advanced of their time, emphasizing restitution over retribution. Educational role. Priests and scribes played a crucial role in maintaining the stories of Teshub, using them as educational tools for the younger generations. These religious leaders ensured that each new generation understood and respected the divine laws as personified by Teshub, which in turn underscored the societal laws they were expected to follow. Modern relevance. Today, Teshub can be seen as a symbol of the enduring human quest to understand the forces of nature and to harness that knowledge for the betterment of society. The fascination with ancient myths reflects a collective longing to connect with our past and to learn from it, demonstrating that the stories we tell reveal as much about our present and future as they do about our history. Concluding reflections. Reflecting on Teshub's legacy, we find a powerful testament to the complexity and depth of human belief systems. His evolution from a regional storm god to a deity of significant cultural and political influence illustrates the dynamic nature of religious and cultural identities. The enduring tales of Teshub encourage us to explore the past, not as distant and static history, but as a vivid narrative that continues to shape our collective consciousness. They prompt us to reflect on our current values and practices, pushing us to consider how we too might be remembered by generations to come. Kindly click like, subscribe and share this channel.